All right. Our preschool, the Finnish Way series. This is number 4, social emotional learning and belonging. Make sure to like and subscribe so that you can receive all the notifications for the next 5 sessions. We have 9 sessions in this series. Jump into the YouTube channel, The Courage to Teach Differently, if you want to catch up and see our other Preschool the Finnish Way videos in our series. So a little bit about this age development, right? The most important thing is relationships. Amazingly, it's even before routines. So in Finnish preschools, emotional safety is the foundation of everything. That means before academics, that means before schedules, that means before structured activities. First things first is connection. The teachers and facilitators in a preschool program are focusing on the students' well-being, taking the time, making the effort to pause and support the students as they learn how to focus and deal with the emotions that come up from sharing, from not getting along, from having new experiences. Because remember, at this age, almost everything is new, right? Their world, going to school, making friends, playing with toys, it's all new for them in this environment. So teachers and facilitators need to support that journey for them. Children learn best when they trust their teacher, when they feel safe with their peers, and when they believe in themselves. So encouragement over criticism. This isn't just philosophy, it's practice woven into every moment of the day, right? Not just at the beginning when you welcome them. Yes, you want them to feel welcome and feel good about being there, but it's also throughout the whole day that they're there. So the foundation of social emotional learning in Finnish education has 3 components: care, trust, and joy. Every child matters, their feelings, their needs, and their voice. They're all given attention and priority. Trust is earned through consistency, honesty, and following through. Children learn to trust adults because they act in a trustworthy way. With their peers, when they have support from their teachers and facilitators, they learn to trust their peers. No, they're not taking the toy because they are being mean. They don't understand. So creating that moment where conversation can happen so they can learn to trust and understand themselves and others. And then joy. Learning should be joyful at all levels, not just in preschool, but all the way through grade 12. Even in university, I think learning should be joyful. Laughter, play, and wonder are not supposed to be interruptions in an educational day. They're supposed to be the whole point of it, right? The whole reason we're doing this is because it's fun, it's enjoyable. We really like doing it. So these 3 values guide every interaction in Finnish early childhood education. They shape tone of voice, they shape the daily planning, the activities, they take time for conflict resolution and for peer relationships. So emotions are part of every day, right? As adults, we've learned how to mask them. We've learned how to hide them. We've learned how to use them to our advantage with manipulation. But at this age, they are just beginning to feel lots of different things, from happy to angry to sad to confused. They don't understand. So feelings are something that need to be processed in order for them to grow and have a well-rounded understanding of who they are as a person, right? That's called emotional intelligence. As we get older, we need to improve our emotional intelligence. So in Finnish classrooms, emotions aren't distractions to be managed, right? It's not a behavior problem. It's an opportunity for the students to begin to understand themselves better. This part of the curriculum is where teachers use play, art, storytelling, conversation, pause, right? Moments for reflection, relaxation, helping to calm the body. It helps children to identify, name, and express what they're feeling. I'm sure as adults, you can think about the people around you, your colleagues. Some of them have a very good understanding of what they feel and how to manage it, and others really struggle. I know that I have several friends that really they feel a lot of things, but they don't know how to express it. They don't know what to do with it, right? And most likely what happened is, as a youngster, nobody walked them through those steps, and they just had to sort of fumble through it all. So when a child is frustrated, the teacher doesn't rush to fix it, right? Instead, they sit beside the child. They become the facilitator, the guide, and they help the child to understand why they're feeling this way and what they can do about it, right? We need to give the children tools in their toolbox. Just like as adults, we have tools in our toolbox, just like as teachers. My job, I hope, is to be giving you tools for your toolbox. And we need to do the same for the students at this age. Circle time is a great, safe way to create that environment. The heart of belonging. Everybody is equal. Nobody is ahead of the others. They're all sitting facing each other, enjoying that connection, face-to-face connection. In this 21st century virtual technology world that we live in, face-to-face connection is becoming more and more rare. So every Finnish preschool day begins and ends with circle time, a sacred space where every voice is valued, every child is seen, and the community comes together, the community inside the classroom. Because when children feel like they belong, right, then they're more apt to support each other, to encourage each other, and to work together. One child might share a story about their morning. Another might hold the talking stick and talk about how they're feeling. In an earlier session on our YouTube channel, I talked about this talking stick and how it works and supports circle time integration. The teacher listens deeply. The other students listen. So if you have quiet students that are unsure about sharing, this talking stick idea gives them an opportunity to feel safe to share their voice because they know that everybody else is going to be listening. So this isn't really just about routines. It's a ritual. It's a belonging that is built one circle at a time. How do we learn best, right? Every child is going to answer this question differently. Peer learning isn't an add-on in Finnish preschool. It's central. So it's not the teacher having lots of teacher talk time. It's providing opportunity for the students to learn from each other. At this stage, developmentally, learning happens through observation, not through auditory listening to lectures. So circle time is short, and then more peer play time where they can engage with each other. Children learn cooperation through shared discovery, collaborative art projects, block building, and imaginative play. They share in problem solving. It creates collaborative activities, and they can support each other. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way, right? Sometimes they fight with each other. They don't get along. But those are just simply opportunities. We don't need to divide the students and separate them from those they don't get along with. We need to use this opportunity to support them and give them the tools to get along with everybody, to learn how to get along with everybody. Nature is an excellent, in our series 3, we talked about nature as a third teacher. Nature has all kinds of research done in the educational realm where it is therapeutic, it's learning, it's community-based, collaborative efforts. It evens the playing field. Everybody is struggling or enjoying at the same time, right? So outdoor play is very important. It provides fresh air, reduces stress and anxiety. That one's actually research-based. They've done studies to show that this truly happens. It's unstructured play, but it provides problems, right? Nature has all kinds of issues that we have to overcome and learn how to deal with. It offers sensory play. So if your school or your preschool is struggling with resources, nature already has all those resources already out there. So you can do sensory play there. You can do exploration and discovery. There's peer cooperation, and it just happens organically. We don't have to structure it or require it. It just sort of happens. Because children help each other over logs, they negotiate games without adult direction, and learn to self-regulate in open space. The forest teaches what we cannot teach in a classroom. All right, so as a teacher, our role in social emotional learning is not, like I said, to give a long lecture. Teachers don't control emotions, so your job is not to find enough behavior modification, reward charts to control that behavior. Simply, a teacher is there to guide, to support, to walk beside the children as they begin to understand and manage their own feelings, right? It's not our job as adults to manage their feelings. Children need to learn how to manage their own feelings and grow up to become well-rounded adults. So we can model that as teachers. Children learn empathy by watching adults practice it. Teachers model self-regulation, kindness, and reflection in all of their interactions. And then, of course, giving children, even at this age, opportunity to reflect. So after conflicts or big emotions happen, teachers can help children to reflect on what happened, how did I feel, and what could I do next time, or what's helped to solve the problem. A little bit of research on social emotional learning. In the Finnish National Agency for Education, learning is grounded in caring, trust, and joy. And Pasi Sahlberg, our educational scholar in Finland, says well-being and belonging are prerequisites for learning, which means without them, learning cannot happen. So Finnish early childhood education is built on decades of research affirming what many educators know intuitively, that children can't learn if they don't feel safe, if they don't feel seen and valued. Social emotional learning isn't a separate subject. It's not a topic that we address in circle time and then ignore for the rest of the day. It is the soil in which all learning grows. So like all of my other videos, I want to give you something practical to apply to your classroom today. So we are going to share 3 simple strategies for everyday classrooms. Number 1, morning connection rituals. Start with joy. Set the mood, right? We don't know what happened at home. We don't know how the morning went, if they got their tummies filled, if they disagreed and didn't like the clothes they had to put on because mom said they had to wear it. So we don't know where they're coming from. So we can do a reset, right? The first moments of the day set the tone for everything that follows. Finnish teachers begin with a greeting song, a check-in question, or a simple ritual that says you belong here and we're glad that you've come. Some things that you can try: greet each child by name, sing a welcome song together, ask what made you smile this morning, or what are you looking forward to doing today, and use a special greeting handshake or phrase. Why this works? Because it's predictable. If you do the same thing every day, even the quiet students will feel comfortable with this ritual and begin to answer. It's a positive ritual that creates emotional safety. Number 2, we can do periodic emotion check-ins. You can see in our image a board full of different faces, right? This is a great way for nonverbal communication to also happen. So if you have students who are shy, or maybe English isn't their first language, you can still do an emotional check-in using images. You name it to tame it. So we can do this before the big emotions happen to help with sort of connecting dots prior to these big emotions. And then we can do it after the big emotions and see the transition from how we felt to how we feel now. It is very difficult in the big emotion to get this age level developmentally to identify their feelings. They're just feeling, they're just struggling. So using these charts in the middle of something is a little bit more challenging. It can still be done, especially with practice, but keep that in mind as you introduce this concept, name it to tame it. When children can name their emotions, they gain power over them, right? Finnish teachers normalize feelings by making them visible and discussable throughout the day. So you can do that by giving a feeling wall where they just simply point. You can use emotion cards that have illustrations of different feelings with facial expressions that they could hold up. Or you could have them drawing, right? To invite the children to draw their feeling. What does their feeling look like? Is it a big black cloud, right? Or maybe it's raindrops. For some people, I love the rain. So for me, a happy image would be raindrops and puddles and skies that are amazingly kind of grayish, whitish. That makes me very happy to be in the rain. So you can learn a lot from children individually when you ask them to draw their feelings. The third one is peer appreciation moments. So celebrating each other, teaching children how to recognize when somebody else has done something that they like, and then giving them praise or high five or a pat on the back or a smile, right? Kind of like giving a thank you card, sending a thank you card to somebody in the old days, right? Finnish preschools end the day with gratitude and recognition. Children learn to notice kindness, they name it and appreciate one another. Because when we as people, we can see others being kind. I don't know about you, but when somebody is kind to me or I notice they're kind to others, I feel differently about that person. I look at them and I say, oh, that's a nice person. I want to be with them, or I want to be nice to them as well. So helping these youngsters recognize those behaviors that make them feel good will help in the future. So things that you can do: gather in a closing circle, ask, did anybody help you today? And this doesn't have to be at the end of the day. It can be after a learning session. It can be after a playtime, right? So it doesn't always have to be at the end. Invite children to say thank you or share a kindness they noticed. Give a high five and model appreciation yourself, right? So as a teacher, we can say thank you to Billy for picking up his lunchbox, or thank you to Sarah for sharing the blocks. This simple practice builds empathy, strengthens friendships, and ends the day with a note of compassion. So belonging is not something that we can teach, but it is something that we can build through care and routine. Social emotional learning doesn't happen in a lesson plan, right? It grows from daily modeling, consistent connection, and lots of small moments of seeing and being seen. So again, this isn't a separate subject. Okay, I'm going to pencil in today, we're going to work on sharing. It's not a moment where we practice that. It's an all-day activity where we're constantly looking for these emotions and how to deal with them. Finnish teachers know this deeply. They don't teach empathy, they practice it. They don't lecture about feelings. They sit with the children in the mess of a big emotion and say, I'm here. You're safe. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be confused and scared, right? We're going to figure this out together and support them in that journey. Don't let them feel alone in it. So my reflection question, I really want to create a community of educators globally that talk and support with each other. So my question, please make comments in the video. how might you strengthen belonging in your classroom? You can take a moment to reflect on your current routines and relationships and figure out what's already working, because I know we all try to do these things. So think about what you're already doing and where might a child feel unseen or disconnected. And that might be something you have to observe tomorrow when you go to school. And then choose one small practice from today's session and go deeper into creating trust and joy and care in your classroom. So next week is number 5 in our series. We will be talking about everyday life skills, learning independence through routine. We will explore how Finnish preschools teach practical life skills, from buttoning coats to setting the table to building confidence, autonomy, and responsibility, one routine at a time. And this one is a really important one because at this age, there are so many adults in their lives trying to govern them and control them and keep them safe. But we need to understand that they are people that have emotions, that have skills that need to grow and develop. And we need to give them those opportunities, even at this age. We need to be patient as adults and allow them to learn these skills. So we're going to talk about that next week, discovering how everyday tasks become powerful learning moments. So thank you so much for hanging with me today, for caring about the hearts of preschool children and older children. Belonging isn't a curriculum to purchase or a program that you have to implement. It's a commitment to seeing each child individually, to honoring their feelings, taking those moments, those pauses to make them real for them, and to build a classroom where everyone knows they matter. This is the Finnish way, and it can be your way too. I look forward to seeing you next time in number 5, life skills. Have a good week.